started to wonder, and I wondered, which led me to wonder. I had to wonder. I started to wonder. I couldn't help but 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 wonder.
What the fuck is up, ladies, gentlemen, and people who just don't give a fuck? I was listening to a lot of Lip Biscuit last night. Anyway, welcome back to City Girls Make Do. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm a Shikska goddess.
I'm your host, Stephanie, and I'm Jack, not Kerouac.
We're back, season 6, baby.
6 seasons in a movie!
Yeah, well, 2 movies.
2 movies. We made it, yeah.
We can't make the community joke, so.
No. Well, I will, but.
I can and I will.
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys. We're back, season 6, episode 1. To market.
I wrote season 6, episode 9, because it was the last one was season 5, episode 8. So I don't know if my brain was just like, nice. But yeah, you're right. Season 6, episode 1. That makes more sense. Yeah, to market. Guess what? We're talking about fucking Stonks today. And I don't know anything.
This whole episode, I was sitting there like, I mean, I don't want to like date this. But at the same time, I really hope it does specifically date this to a very specific period of time.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching it and I was like, oh god, they're talking about stocks and the market's crashed. Oh god, Carrie's on a date. Oh, Carrie's on the subway. Ugh. The whole time I was like, I can't do any of this. This is all terrible. I hate everything. I'm trapped inside my house. I just want to go on a fucking date.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's very much like this is just an alternate universe called 2002. Yeah.
I'm watching it and I'm like, oh my god, they're outside.
It's scary. It's like they're outside and they're also, around other people and each other and touching each other and stuff. So yeah.
Having sex even.
They're doing that. Yeah. Yeah. As the title of the show implies, they're not social distancing because they're having sex and they're also in the city.
Yeah, I was telling a guy about this podcast today. I don't know why I tell men that I do a podcast. I really shouldn't. But he was like, so what's the show about? Are they just shagging in the city? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? It's not fucking complicated.
It's not rocket science, dude. Like, that's the title. Anyway.
I love that. Well, season 6, it's our last run of episodes. We only got I think it's 20 episodes in season 6. So we got a good run left before the movies.
Yep. And then I don't know how we're going to do the movies, but we will. I feel like we need to stick to the City Girl format. I don't think we should dabble in the Keanu format. I feel like we need to keep the entity separate.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like it needs to be kind of like we need to do a deep dive into those holes. Yeah,
we need to get balls deep in those holes.
We do. And I mean, the thing with Keanu is that there's too many holes that we can't be balls deep in all of them. We need to.
It's like SpongeBob. There's a lot of holes, and this is
exactly like that.
There's only 2 holes in a Sex and the City, so you can get deep in both. You can double penetrate it. Anyway, should we get into the episode?
Yeah, let's get into the episode.
So Carrie is running late, and we don't know what she's running late for. She runs into someone walking a bunch of dogs, and then she gets a cab, and then the cab's caught in traffic. My favorite thing was when she was clearly caught in traffic, and it's New York City, and she's like, excuse me, sir, I have to be at Wall Street in 30 minutes. And then he just looks at her like, do you want me to, is this a magic carpet? Do you want me to fly you there?
Just allow me to drive over all the cars in front of me. I'll get you there in a minute.
Yes. He's like, what do you want me to do, bitch?
Yeah.
But she sees a subway marker. So she runs for that, gets the subway like a dirty peasant, and she arrives at Wall Street.
Yeah, it's with big American flag on it, and I was like, oh. Ugh. I didn't actually recognize it at first. I was like, I mean, she said it. She was like, is it is the actual market the Dow? What is the Dow Jones the physical building? Or is it
I think I always thought the Dow Jones was just like a lyric in the Frasier theme. Every time someone says that, I'm like, Dow Jones. I don't know. I think I don't know anything about stocks.
I don't either. What is the difference? What is
Like,
the NASDAQ?
I don't know what the NASDAQ exactly.
Is that the same thing as the Dow Jones?
I think they're just like I love when we go full bimbo. I think because like I played GTA 5 and in that game you can trade stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Which, oh my god, oh fuck. I just realized something. If I can get my PS4 working, I think I should buy GTA 5.
Ooh, you absolutely should.
While we're locked in. I think because I traded it in, but actually I could really do with a driving game. Anyway.
That'd be so good.
So in GTA 5 you can like trade stocks and it was like ball sack and something. Anyway.
A ball sack?
It was called ball sack instead of NASDAQ.
Oh,
you get it?
Yeah, I get it.
It's that South Park humor. It's very good.
I don't even understand the Neopet stock market, and just like in Neopets, I would walk into the Dow Jones and be like, I literally don't respect any of you.
This is where you get your news and your insider trading from people who only know what stocks are from playing video games.
But I don't even understand them in video games. Like, okay, I get in Animal Crossing.
I've lost so much money in fucking GTA stocks, so I know not to fuck the real ones.
Like, I only understand it in Animal Crossing because there's only one item that goes on the stock market. And it's only turnips, and that's it. And it's like, you buy it, and then you can sell it for maybe a higher price, and that's it. And I'm like, but do people do this every week? Like, I don't understand. Anyway, it's complicated. I don't think the economy is real.
It's not. If I can't see it physically, then it doesn't exist.
No.
It's like when I spend money, although the opposite is true of money, because when I spend cash, I'm like, that wasn't real money, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Because it's like you already took the money out of your bank account. So it's just money that you've basically already spent and it's in your wallet. So when you spend it, it's like, it's nothing. It's just the money that's in your bank account that counts.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, this isn't real money. It's paper. But like my actual card, that's an investment.
That's true.
I have to go home and get into bed and check my bank account. And I, take a breath and I'm like,
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's there because the New York Star, the paper she writes her column in, is going public, which I feel like a New York newspaper would probably already be public. I don't know. But it's going public, and she gets to ring the bell, which I don't know says like, "Oh, you can buy it now."
I didn't even know there was a bell.
There's a bell. I thought it was a literal like a ding dong bell, but she just presses a button, which is shit.
Yeah, and when she presses it, she's like a kid pressing an elevator button because she like squeals basically with excitement. So I thought that they make it sound like pressing the button is like this is when the market opens, so like now you can do the stonks. But like there were people who were just standing in the building on phones like doing a business the entire time before this as she was coming in. So like were they already doing stonks?
I don't know, but it very much feels like when you're a kid, what you imagine your parents do at work.
That is true. That is extremely true.
You're like, oh yeah, they just talk on the phone and like shout at people.
Yeah, I guess like this is extremely. It just seems so fake to me because I'm like, when I imagine people like doing stocks, I imagine they just like go to an investor and they're like, okay, buy this for me or something, or I want to sell this, or I don't know, something like that. But then there's all these people there who are like looking at the signs and I'm like, you could just be looking. I mean, I guess at the time they didn't have like the internet, so they couldn't look at it on their like computer. They had internet, but not like they couldn't like open up their iPhone and be like, oh, the Shell gas is up by a number. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just like, green is good and like a bull is good. I don't know. Bear and a bull, play Fallout New Vegas. Stay home. # stay home, play Fallout New Vegas, GTA 5, and Neopets.
Yes.
And Animal Crossing.
Neopets. Oh yeah.
But you're already playing Animal Crossing. You're probably playing Animal Crossing while you're listening to this. So
well, you mean like the listener or me? Because I was like, I considered playing while we recorded today, but I'm not.
Both of you.
Yeah.
Everyone, our one listener and you.
Yeah. Well, add me on Animal Crossing. My friend code is like on my Tumblr page, so find me and add me on my Switch. But so she rang her bell, and then and she got presented by this like bald guy, and I'm like, who even are you? And then we go to like the girls on a patio, and they're just like having lunch or something. Samantha says she loves the stock market because it's just a bunch of men in a room trying to get it to go up. Get it?
Do you get it? It's like dicks. Yeah, I think so they're like talking about it, and I guess the main thing is like, well, Charlotte says, oh, I bought stocks in your newspaper, Carrie, and then Carrie's like, oh, I hope it wasn't expensive, and Charlotte goes, no, you're cheap.
I did love that.
But yeah, they're talking. So is this where Carrie mentions that she's got a date with Berger coming up?
Yes. She has a date with Berger, and she doesn't know what she's doing yet, so she's got to like pick out an outfit because it could be like a dinner date, it could be something else. She's got to decide what to wear.
Samantha says a funny slur.
She really did, and I don't even remember what the purpose of that conversation was when she did say it.
Well, ironically, she's complaining about gentrification.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I remember when the only thing that costs $20, because they're in the meatpacking district, which is where she lives, and it's like $20 for a burger. And she's like, I remember when the only thing that was $20 was a hand job from a Tesla. And I was watching the show like, okay, fuck, that was a slap in the face. And I'm just trying to vibe. I'm just trying to chill. I don't need stress in my life. But she's complaining about gentrification as if she's not a very rich PR executive. Yeah,
who like moved into the neighborhood because it was cheaper. Like you're the gentrificator. That's not the right word.
Yeah, you're the
gentrifier.
Yeah. And then she kicked out the transgender sex workers and had a big massive. She had a big fight with them. Like, she made it up, but like we've never seen them again.
No, presumably they just left.
Yeah. Like, okay, Samantha.
Yeah, it's because at first I was like, oh, it's really cool that Samantha hates gentrification, but then it was like, yeah, no, she really doesn't.
She doesn't. I will say half the people that have ever complained to me about gentrification are gentrifiers.
Yeah, probably. That's a good point.
They're like, oh my, I remember when I moved here, it was cheap, and it's like, because you were the gentrifier. You were the Christopher Columbus of this expedition, mate.
Oh, truly.
But that's pretty much it. And then, and then Charlotte starts talking about Harry, and, you know, she's obviously, like, still a bit stressed. She says that she's not sure she would have invested in Harry had she known that he can only marry a Jewish woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of her big plot. Well, I mean, it's her plot for, like, this season, I guess, but it's, like, her plot for this episode is really, like, trying to grapple with, well, what should we do now? Because, like, we both really want this to move forward, but, like, we have this gigantic, like, wall that's, like, basically, like, stopping us from being able to move forward. And,
yeah, I will say there was a quick turnaround. I mean, maybe if season 5 had, like, more time, because it seems very quick that she was like, ew, I don't want to be with him, to now, you know, she was like, I don't want to be seen with him, it's just about sex. And now she's like, I want to get married to you. They're very seriously talking about marriage and the future and everything.
Yeah, it's very, very fast. I guess maybe part of it is like, I think a big factor is, you know, I didn't want to be seen with you, but then she kind of took him and introduced him to all of her friends and realized, oh no, like they actually really like him. It's not like I don't know, maybe she realized it was all in her head that she was kind of put off by him, and realizing, oh, okay, no, this actually works out really well. Everyone thinks he's a great guy. So, I don't know.
I think that was sort of part of it. And she's just in, like, he makes her laugh, and that's pretty important. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we cut to them, and he orders pork at the restaurant.
Charlotte just, like, makes a face like, oh, okay, so you can do that.
And he says, like, I'm conservative, I'm not kosher. And she's like, well, I'm conservative. And obviously he means, like, conservative Judaism, as in the practice. No, and she's like, yeah, he says my conservative doesn't include me wearing pearls. He's like, Harry's on his king shit yet again.
He really is. Yeah.
But he says like, no, like it's important to me. I can't really go against it, honey. Like I mean, what we found out from our dear friend and listener today.
Yeah, no, the information from Joe, aka the tallest Jew in HKIP server about like the reasons why he would probably want to marry another person who's Jewish.
Yeah, and like so basically like with conservative Judaism, like the rabbi would probably only marry them if they were both Jewish. Which I think is also a bit like Catholic weddings as well. Just obviously it's not the same thing, but like I think you would struggle to find a Catholic church that would marry you if you were not Catholic.
Yeah, I think it's that, and then I think the other thing, which is what Harry brings up in this episode, is like he would also want to raise the children as being Jewish as well, and that's a big factor. And which I guess like that part really has less to do with Charlotte's beliefs, because I mean like they can raise their kids however they would want to, but but still,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's something that's important to him and is pretty non-negotiable as far as actual marriage goes.
Yeah, for sure. I did really like this part when he's kind of like, I know what you're thinking, like, why did I even let things get this far when I knew you weren't Jewish? And like that clearly is going to be a huge factor. And she's like, well, yeah, I am wondering that.
Yeah, good question, dude.
But he's just like, look, I couldn't not be with you. Like, you're incredible and amazing. And like, I never thought someone as amazing as you. Like, he literally calls her a goddess. Like, I never thought a goddess like you would ever actually fall for a putz like me. And
she's like, you're not a putz, you're a schmuck. And it's very cute.
It's very cute, yeah.
I mean, I will say I'm gonna get this out of the way now because it came into my head while I was watching the episode. But a chic skirt, I'm not saying that right. I have a very Gentile mouth. So it's like he calls her that, which is it's like Yiddish for like a non-Jewish temptress, and I've been called that twice by two separate people. And I just want to get out of the way because it made me laugh. And it very much makes me feel like, you know, those white girls that date black guys and then get like box braids and wear dashikis and stuff. It makes me feel like that. I'm like, I do speak a bit of Yiddish. Like my Jewish boyfriend taught me some. Like,
yeah.
But that's really as far as it goes. I have no fucking expertise. Apart from the one Jewish guy I dated very loosely. It made me laugh because I was like, oh, flashback to when I got called that. And then I got sad. And then I remembered I was trapped inside. So I got sad again and the episode continued.
The episode does continue. We go to Miranda now. Miranda and Steve. I really didn't like this scene because she's like changing Brady's diaper and then she just like wipes shit onto her face from her hand. How does she not notice that her face just got like shit on it?
I hate it very much. And it's like green. It looks like the pulp that's left over when you make green juice.
And it's like it like smears on her face, so it wasn't like a hard. It's like a soft poop.
It's a very soft poop. I remember my mum called my granddad when I took my first solid poop, so I think it's like a thing for babies.
I guess so. Like, good for them. I guess that seems like just like a problem, but I guess it's not their problem. But yeah, it's gross. And then Steve just is like laughing. He's just like, you got fucking duty on your face.
Yeah.
And when she goes to like wipe it, she just like wipes more shit on her face. It's just extremely bad. And he's just like laughing at her still, and then he has to like wipe it off with a wipe, and then she chases him around the apartment with it, like, I'm gonna put shit on your face if you think it's so fucking funny.
Yeah. And she's chasing him around, they're like having a laugh, and then she like stops and she snaps at him and she's like, you think this is funny? You think this is funny? Why are you laughing? Get out of my house.
Truly, it's just like a complete change of pace. Yeah. And Steve's like, okay, I'll leave. Like, very uncomfortable. Because this is like one of the rare times where I'm like, oh, Steve is actually being like decent to hang out with right now.
Yeah.
But we find out like immediately after Miranda goes to Carrie's door and she's like, I'm in love with Steve.
Yeah. She's like, I'm in love with Steve. And I got mad at him as soon as I realized I was in love with him and kicked him out of my apartment. But I'm in love with him. And
yeah, she's basically just like, this can't be right because like he's not supposed to be the guy for me. And I'm like, I don't know what you were imagining, like, but
yeah. It's I mean, it's kind of weird. She's like, he's not the guy for me. Like, you did have his baby.
Yeah, she did do that. And it's like, I don't know. She just seems to think it's like really, I don't know, like if she was like expecting someone who just had an entirely different personality or if it's like what, but she basically realizes she has to tell him. So she decides she's going to take him somewhere romantic where she can't just like pick a fight with him and kick him out.
Yeah. I love that like she Carrie's like holding Brady and she's like, Miranda, can he have crackers yet? And I'm pretty sure Brady doesn't even have teeth. He
almost certainly does not. Because he's what, like 6 months old maybe? Like if he does, he has like one.
I know. It's like, it's so weird. But that's pretty much the end of the scene. It's very short and sweet. Mm-hmm. So Samantha is like hanging out with these like Judas Priest style leather gays, as there's like a leather nightclub by her apartment, and they're all like, "Hi, Samantha."
They're all wearing like assless chaps, and it's extremely good. They're just hanging out on the street.
It's amazing. They all look fabulous. Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Oh, hey, Samantha," and she's like, "Hi, boys." And then some like. She sees that there's a pottery barn coming soon, and she's disgusted.
Yeah, I love the way this is set up, too, where Carrie's like, Samantha saw something truly awful, and then it pans across, like, this guy in, like, a gimp suit, basically, on a leash, but then it's like...
I thought he was gonna shit on the floor.
I kind of thought he was, too, but then it, like, pans past him to the pottery barn, so it's, like, clearly, like, this is the thing that's terrible and awful, because, like, at first they make it set up like it's gonna be, like, that's the thing that's terrible and awful, but it's like, no, it's the pottery barn, it's the gentrification.
Yeah, that is truly awful. I admit that.
Yeah.
And so she's disgusted, and then this massive Hummer drives past, like blacked out windows, super fucking expensive. And she's also disgusted by that. And she says to like one of the guys, she's like, "Ugh, so we need another Wall Street prick around here." Mm-hmm. And then he gets out, and he's cute.
Well, if he's cute.
But he's spit. He's fucking hot. So she goes and introduces herself, obviously. Mm-hmm. He's also getting into her apartment.
Yes.
Her apartment building. So she runs over and she's like, "Oh, hold the door. I live here too. My name's Samantha." And she doesn't talk like that, but
she basically does, though.
She does. It's just like more British. Well, my version's more British.
Yeah.
But she's like, "I'm Samantha. Nice to meet you. Oh, I always do love a Hummer." And he's like, "Okay, cool." She says, "Oh, he's like, oh, I live in 4F or whatever." And she's like, "I live in 3F." And he goes, "Oh, I'm right above you." And she says, "That's okay."
That's a good sign. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good sign. It's extremely Samantha. She's just doing she's putting out all her tricks.
Oh, yeah.
And, so she's like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll see you around." She is like a modern day Mae West.
Yeah.
Like, that's her shtick, right? Is like being like, "Oh, hello, boys. Why don't you come to my bedroom?" Yeah. And every single time I'm gagging.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable watching it happen. Especially just like how forward the next scene with her is with it. Yeah. It's a lot.
I meant gagging in like a good way, but there are also times where I gag in like a bad way.
Yeah. It's like the acting of it all is extremely good. It's like Kim Cattrall really just goes deep on the material she gets.
She understands. I think Kim Cattrall is Kim Cattrall and Kristen Davis
Mhm.
understand the script. They get it and they see this is high camp. And
Yeah,
they've been playing it that way every single, like, since the fucking beginning. They've been playing
like,
that every single time.
they have downloaded the script into their brain and like
Mm-hmm.
decomposed it and put it back together, and they have like reimagined what television is supposed to be.
Yeah, they are 100%. They're the funny guys, and then the other two are the straight men. I don't have anything bad to say about the other. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about Cynthia Nixon or Sarah Jessica Parker's acting. I just think that, like, Charlotte and Samantha are perfectly acted. They
Yes.
understand that it is high camp, and every like purr from Samantha and every eye like gouging from Charlotte brings me joy. It sparks
Same.
joy.
Yeah, big same for me.
Mm-hmm.
We go next to Harry and Charlotte, and
Yes.
they're going to Bonetown. And while they're in the middle of having sex, he's like, "Oh, I'm so close," and she's like, "Is the Jewish thing really a big deal to you?"
And we all know it doesn't count if you ask some writers are about to come.
And it's like literally right there, because then right after that, he's just like, nut, like slamming the button. And yeah.
And he's like, no. And then, like, you know, they wake up the next morning and she's like, oh, I had such a wonderful time. You know, we had a great time in bed. And you said that the Jewish thing, like, wasn't a big deal. And he's like, didn't say that. And she says, yeah, you did. It was right as you were coming. And he's like, that does not count, Charlotte, and you fucking know that. Which, it doesn't count. You can say anything. Honestly, I think I nearly proposed to someone. It does not count.
Yeah, I feel like I don't understand. And just like, even if she didn't know that, why at that exact moment is that like the best time to ask this? Like,
yeah, it's a lot. And, you know, she's like, oh, well, you know, why is it a big deal? And he says that he promised his mother and they're very close. And then Charlotte's like, oh, fuck, not another mother. And then he goes, but she died. And Charlotte's like, yes.
She just puts her right back up and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry your mother died.
And then she like looks to the camera and winks. Like, it's great. She's like, oh, thank God his mother is dead. Which I guess shows you the trauma of Bunny.
Literally, yeah. Honestly, if I was Charlotte, I would truly just feel the exact same way. Like, she really does. She has dealt with enough mother-in-law drama for a lifetime. She really doesn't need that again.
No, she really doesn't. And she's like, well, I'm sure if your mother were alive, maybe like she would really like me. And he's like, oh, she'd like you and she'd fall in love with you and see that it doesn't matter because she just loves you so much. Yeah, that's not gonna fucking happen, dude. And he says that, like, obviously it was also important to his mother because she lost family in the Holocaust. And Charlotte's like, well, I have no comeback for that because you brought up the Holocaust. Which,
yeah, I mean,
true. Ish.
Yeah.
I mean, I also think if it's such a big deal to Charlotte, then it's clearly not going to work between them. But I guess she hasn't really done any research into it, you know?
Yeah, she hasn't really done any research into it. And like on the other hand, like the other big thing is like we don't really know exactly how religious Charlotte is. Like, the thing is, we know she's Episcopalian, which is fake, but we know that that's what she is. But like we don't know if she's actually like practicing or believes in it, or like if she was just like, if it's just like her family took her to church, or like we don't really have any idea like how, like I don't think she goes to church on Sundays or anything, but like we have no idea what her actual beliefs are. So like if converting would be like a big deal for her in terms of like what she believes in. Yeah,
like I feel like for me, if I were with someone of a different religion to me and they needed me to convert to get married, I would probably do some research and be like, okay, well, does this kind of fit with like my values? Like, what's your, you know, like in Harry's case, you know, what's your rabbi like what's your, you know, how do you worship? Like, how important is this to you? Blah, blah, blah. I would do my research. And if I decided that it was not, like, if I couldn't actually see myself taking part in it, then I wouldn't want to convert because it just feels like sacrilegious to do so.
Yeah.
But, you know, if it's, she doesn't really seem to be doing much looking into it until later in the episode. Spoiler alert.
Oh, I do love where she goes with this, at least.
I love this turnaround because I've never stopped thinking about it, and however many years it was since I first saw this season, I have not stopped thinking about it, and I constantly reference the reason she uses.
It's really good though.
Yeah, it is good. But yeah, that's the scene. So then we go over to Carrie. And Burger calls and he says, how about dinner and a movie? He does this fucking corny thing where he's like, I bet you're screening my call.
Yeah. And he's like, good idea. You know, don't pick up.
Don't pick up. I don't want to speak to you. I'm not in the mood to speak to you. I just want to let you know something. It's like, fucking shut the fuck up. God. I hate cutesy shit.
I know. I'm also just like, I just find this so unrelatable because like, actual answering machines aren't a thing I've had in a house for so long that I would never like hear someone's message as it's being recorded. Like I only ever get them on my phone, my cell phone, where like I'll check it after. So it's not like they could be like, haha, bet you're screening my call, don't pick up.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I am screening your call, but I also can't hear you telling me not to pick up. So.
Do you ever send like voice notes to people?
No.
Because I will occasionally, or like I have received voice notes from someone I'm like seeing, and it's very much like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna hear their voice, you know. So it's a bit weird.
Yeah, I also just like hate getting just any kind of like I hate getting any kind of voice anything. Like I hate getting voicemails because they're either like spam or it's something like it's always old people who instead of just like you don't pick up so they text you, they're always like, hi, it's your stepdad, it's 3:16 p.m. and I'm just calling to say what's up, so you're just give me a call back when you get this. I don't have anything actually important to say, just give me a call back. Like you could have texted me that, or you could have just I could have just seen that I had a missed call and called you back. I gotta listen to the message.
My voicemail is full to the brim of my mum going, hi Alex, call me back, I'm on my way home from work, I just want to know if you want anything, what do you want for dinner, okay bye. I'm like, you could have texted me that, or you could have just not left a voicemail and I'll see that you called me, so I'll call you back.
It's true.
And then, yeah,
it takes so long to listen to a voicemail because you gotta go in and you gotta press the fucking passcode, and then you gotta press like a button to listen to that instead of to like do something else. And it's like, okay, like my family, I love you, but can you please just text this to me, please?
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I just burped away from the mic. I didn't want to do it in it. But yeah, he says, how about dinner and a movie? And he says, oh, everyone's going crazy about this Craig's room, and I googled it because I thought he was talking about Joe's Apartment, which is that movie with the talking cockroaches.
You mean Cats 2019?
The original film, the one that Cats 2019 stole from.
Okay. Yeah.
God,
I had no idea.
Should I watch Cats?
You should. Now that there's like there's like a website that's kind of like a Rabbit replacement now, I'm like, what if I just like put that on one night and like had friends watch it with me?
That would be good. What if we did a special lockdown shut down by Skepta.mp3 edition of Cats?
Yeah, we could absolutely do that. I just watched Cats 1998 like on my birthday like less than 2 weeks ago, but at the same time I would absolutely watch it again like any time of any day. So
but yeah, he says, what about this film? And she's beaming, and then she goes to lunch with the girls and she's like, oh, we're gonna go see a film, I'm so excited. She also talks her mouth open, which assassinated. I feel like she should be assassinated for that.
You mean like talks with food in her mouth?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, she absolutely should be. She should be shot on sight.
The gun, I feel like you don't even deserve, like military funerals, like you don't even deserve a military execution for that. You don't deserve to get shot on the head. You need to be hung. Like that's not appropriate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it's awful. It's terrible. But what is really good is Samantha's banana shirt.
Oh, it's a good shirt.
It's really good. It's just like bananas all along the neckline of it. And it's like a little off the shoulders. It's fucking amazing. I love it.
Ring, 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 ring. Banana shirt.
You're so right.
But yeah, so and she's like, I really like burger. And this other guy, I don't know, I don't even remember how she says that she met him, but this other guy called and who wants to go on a date with her, and she's going to blow him off because she's really, really into burger. And Charlotte basically convinces her to just go on this other date and not put all her not put all her eggs into one basket and just go on this other date, see how it goes with him, and which I think is fair enough.
Yeah, it's fair. It's good advice, although it is weird coming from Charlotte, who's extremely like one person is right. I don't know. It's because she's like all up in her head about Harry and how she's like, I put all my eggs in this hairy basket. And
yeah.
And now she feels like she may have lost all her eggs.
She's like, fuck, I've been dating this guy for a few months and now I need to change my religion. A lot of things have happened. A lot of things have happened.
Yeah, many things have passed.
Yes.
And Samantha agrees. She's like, yeah, you should go out with this other guy too. Might as well. Like, keep your options open. And Samantha says, your stock is up, because they keep making stonk references this episode because that's the theme, I guess.
Stonks.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, she agreed. She calls it like a simu date.
What does this mean?
Yeah, she is not taking this guy seriously at all. I mean, we'll see how the date goes a bit later.
It's very funny.
It's very funny. Question. We got a question time.
We got a question. Carrie's just sitting around. She's writing. She's typing. She's thinking. And she's thinking about the stock market and dating, because they're the same thing. If you have a bad stock, you can lose your shirt. If you have a bad date, you lose your will to live.
No.
It's like, maybe.
I thought, I'm shocked you didn't make the joke, if you have a bad stock, you lose your shirt. If you have a good date, you can lose more than your shirt.
That's where I thought it was going too, but she didn't do that. She went the really dark direction instead.
Of like, you have a date where like you don't have a connection, so you want to kill yourself. No, that's not how that works.
It's like, Carrie, we know you're neurotypical. Like,
yes. Like, Carrie, I think we understand that Carrie is extremely neurotypical.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that she's a massive narcissist, but she's not, she doesn't have a narcissistic personality disorder. She's just a narcissist.
Yes, exactly.
Got to make that distinction. She doesn't have no personality disorder. She's 100% neurotypical because she doesn't deserve the right
to have a personality. She has the personality disorder in the sense that, like, we don't like her personality. Like, in the sense that, like, as a character, she has characterization disorder. Like,
yeah. She has a personality disorder in that she doesn't have a personality.
Yes, that's a really good point. Her personality has been replaced by a closet full of shoes.
True. But yeah, she's an extreme narcissist, though.
Yes. And her question is just, why do we keep investing? Like, I don't know, that's such a stupid question. Like, why do we keep staying alive and putting like emotions into things? I don't know, because what's the alternative?
Yeah, why do humans want love?
Yeah, it's like, and we also didn't even get an answer to this question or anything. It's one of those ones where it's just left hanging. Like, we just wanted to talk about the stonk market, and so they did.
We wanted to, make you think.
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking yet?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely
Good.
not. I've never had a thought in my life.
Head empty, pussy empty. Head empty.
Completely. Completely vacant. So then we get to Miranda, and she is losing it a little bit. She's writing down a bunch of things for how she's going to talk to Steve. And so she gives him a call, and she's like extremely nervous about this. But he doesn't pick up. So she just leaves the most awkward voice message of all time, where she's like, I have something to talk to you about. How about we we go out for dinner. Magda can watch Brady. Also, by the way, this is Miranda, but she's just whole time, the whole delivery is extremely cringe.
She's like, "Hello, Steve. I wondered if you wanted to go for dinner sometime." And
yeah,
it's a bit weird. I love that she wrote a script, though. Queen of writing.
It seems like she wrote a script, but then she like didn't finish writing the script, and she decided to call him before she finished, and then just like was just talking out her ass.
You know, like those flow charts that like telemarketers have of like flowchart scripts?
Yes.
It seemed a bit like one of those.
Yeah, kind of, except for he didn't pick up, so it's not like she could be like, okay, if he says this, what do I say next? It's like, she just was like, let's go out for dinner. Then we go to Samantha, and she knocks on her neighbor's door with a gift basket.
Mm-hmm. And she says it's for welcoming to the neighborhood, so she has cheese and meat and alcohol, condoms, and handcuffs.
I do love that he's like, handcuffs? And Samantha has to be like, oh yeah, from the bar next door.
Yeah, obviously. Not being forward. I'm just making a joke. Haha, you need condoms.
Yeah, it's just, welcome to the neighborhood. And he's just like, well, if I reach for the basket, my towel is gonna fall off.
Yeah?
Because he just got out of the shower, so he's wrapped in a towel.
And she's like, so he reaches for it. And he's got a nice tush.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just love that, like, Samantha's like, I'm no fool. And it's like she knew you. I mean, I guess, like, if he lives above her, she can probably hear that the shower is on or something. So she can be like, I can tell he's going to be coming out of the shower soon. But I like to imagine that she just, like, astral projected into his apartment and was like, okay, so when should I ring the doorbell or knock on the door?
I like to think that she was just waiting there with like an ear to the door the entire time.
Yeah, that's a good. Either way, she has incredible timing.
Mm-hmm. And so she sees his dick and then she sucks it.
Yeah, also he pulls the towel off right at the front door where, not like the front door to the building, but like the door to his apartment where like it's just open to the hallway. Like you can fully see into the hallway. Like if anyone just opened their door at this moment, he would just be dick out in the hallway.
Dick out in the hallway.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's not for very long because Samantha just walks right in as soon as he takes the towel off, but still.
Yeah, and then she gives him the best head of his life.
I love the concept of this plot so much.
It's iconic. So she gives, and he's like, oh, by the way, I just nutted, so here's a stock tip. And he's like, blah, blah, blah is going to be bought up by this company. So, I don't know, Stonks.
Yeah, and he's just like, yo, no problem for the tip. That's the best head of my life. And Samantha's like writing down his stock advice. It's like, this is incredible that he's just such a business that like he nuts and he's like, Stonks.
Also, why would you think of doing that? Like, it's so fucking stupid because obviously it's illegal. Yeah. But like, it's not even like fun illegal. It's not like, oh, do you want to do some drugs? It's like, oh, here's a federal crime.
I do think I feel like it's fun illegal for that kind of person though. He probably is just like, Lucille Bluth gets off on being withholding. It's like the opposite of that feeling. Gets off on telling you about stock price, about like what stocks to invest in and not invest in.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a very strange process to me.
Yeah.
But that's Samantha. That's Samantha's plot for the week.
Well, it's not over yet.
No. Well, actually, no, it's not over yet, but her plot is fucking insider trading via sex.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Carrie goes on her simu date with a guy his name's Willie. He's shy and he has a sty.
Yeah, he's like extremely unsure about himself and all of his choices. He's like, I don't know if this was really a good place to come to eat. I don't know about anything in my life or any of the decisions I've ever made. How are you? Also, like, are you looking at my sty? And then a bird lands on his head.
A pigeon fully lands on his head. And he's like, that was weird. And then he gets balsamic vinegar in his eye somehow.
I don't know how that happens.
No. And then another bird lands on his head and he starts freaking out and he falls off his chair. So it doesn't go very well.
This is like the best physical comedy this show has ever done. Like when he fully falls backwards off his chair, then when he comes up, he fully knocks over their entire table, and just like it's incredible.
Great.
Just the idea that they had to like train birds or like bring in trained birds to land on his head during this scene. I love that they did this at all. But yeah, it's clearly very bad, and that makes Carrie kind of like anxious about her date with Berger now, because she's like, Jesus Christ, first dates can be really bad sometimes. Now I'm really worried that my first date with Berger is going to be terrible.
Yeah, she's like, if you're too invested, it's going to be awful. So she's freaking out because she's obviously feeling rather invested in Berger. Mm-hmm. Like this guy wasn't her. So yeah, she freaks out basically. And then she's at the supermarket with Charlotte. Yeah. Did you already say that?
Well, I didn't say she was at the supermarket, just that she was freaking out.
Yeah, she's at the supermarket with Charlotte, which, I don't know, seems fun. Imagine going to a supermarket and they have stuff there.
Imagine going to the supermarket.
Full stop. Yeah. But they're like looking for stuff. And yeah, Charlotte's like, yeah, I told you that was a bad idea. It's a bad idea to be too invested. Anyway, did you know Elizabeth Taylor converted for Eddie Fisher?
Just out of the blue, Carrie's like, okay, that's not what I was expecting you to say. And Charlotte's just like, yeah, I'm reading a book about it.
Yeah, she's reading her biography, which also, I love how Charlotte leaves out. All right, Charlotte leaves out the best part. Yes, she converted to Judaism for Eddie Fisher. Very lovely, very romantic. I think he was her third husband. I want to say third. Also, I love Elizabeth Taylor. I'm a big Elizabeth Taylor stan. Mm-hmm. Best part about it is that he was full on having an affair. Left Debbie Reynolds for her, and then I think he died, or they broke up. I think he died. She had a couple husbands that died. Poor Liz.
Yeah,
and Elizabeth Taylor and Debbie Reynolds became like best friends again.
That's nice.
She stole her best friend's man, and then they were like, actually, we should be friends again. And then they raised loads of money for HIV and AIDS. They were like the forefront of celebrities actually talking about it and helping people. It's the fucking most iconic thing. I love it.
I love that. I did not know that. That rules.
They were the first celebrities to actually talk about it and raise money for it. And they did like little shows together. And obviously, I mean, it's fucking Debbie Reynolds and Elizabeth Taylor. Like, yeah, the gays stand them for multiple reasons. Yeah. So that's the best part. I'm a big Elizabeth Taylor stan. Also, Marilyn Monroe also converted.
Huh. I didn't know that one either.
I'm full of fun facts. Yeah. I'm full of fun facts about old Hollywood.
You are.
Anyway. Welcome to You Must Remember This with and it's just me remembering episodes of You Must Remember This.
Yeah. I love that, like, after Charlotte mentions the Elizabeth Taylor thing, then she like picks up a jar of like, I think it's like kosher pickles, and then she like makes a face at it. She's like, what am I willing to sacrifice? And like,
I think it's gefilte fish, which, to be honest, I would feel the same way. I'm not gonna eat gefilte fish.
But like, you don't need to eat everything that's like.
You truly don't. Like, I don't think like no one's gonna hold a fucking gun to your head and make you eat gefilte fish if you convert to Judaism.
Yeah,
like, that's not really a thing, you know.
Yeah. No.
I mean, you probably will eat Jewish food, and I'm sure Harry would love if you learned how to cook some, but you don't have to eat gefilte fish.
No, I feel like that's kind of like a, if you want to thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's like you have to thing.
We've already seen earlier in this episode that Harry is extremely nonchalant about pork. So like, I'm pretty sure like you're not like forced to do this. But but then we cut to Harry and Charlotte talking in bed again, and Charlotte brings up her fun fact again. She's like, well, did you know that Elizabeth Taylor converted to Judaism for Eddie Fisher?
And Harry's like, go again.
Like, okay, is that something you would consider?
Yeah. And she's like, well, we're just stating facts, we're just putting stuff on the table, we're not I'm not promising anything. I love that the thing that turned her head was Elizabeth fucking Taylor.
It is incredible. Remember how Charlotte said gay rights?
Charlotte said gay rights. Charlotte is now going to spend her time. She's going to marry 8 men. Did she marry 8 men or get married 8 times? I think she only got married 8 times because one of them was to Richard Burton twice. But she's going to get married a bunch of times. And then she's just going to be old. She's going to like have an emotional affair with Colin Farrell on her deathbed. Icon.
Truly iconic.
I will never stop standing Elizabeth Taylor. That's a fact. She did that every single day of her life. I adore her. Anyway.
Charlotte's like, well, I'm considered it. It's something I'm considering, but you have to really give me a reason to like convince me that isn't that your mother wanted you to do it. Like, give me something I can actually relate to because I have extreme mother-in-law issues, understandably.
Well, yeah, she's basically like, what's the main principles? Like, what do I need to know? What separates it from anything else? Mm-hmm. And he sort of says like, I guess the basics. He's like, what he wants is to raise his children Jewish, and she decides to come clean about what's on the table for her. And she says that she's had some infertility issues and she might not be able to have children biologically. And okay, this whole scene made me get extremely emotional.
It's extremely like touching because she just like she gets extremely like she kind of almost starts tearing up about it, kind of being like, I don't know if I can give you things that you want. Like, if you want family, I don't know if that's something I can give you. Like, it's a possibility, but it's hard and it might not happen.
And she extremely expects him to leave. She's like, I understand if you can't do this. And he says, don't worry about that. I love you. We can always adopt. And it's like,
he's like, it's no big deal. Like, she's like, well, it wouldn't be like, your natural born children. And he's like, that's just what it is. If that's what it is, like, we'll figure it out if that's what it comes to. Yeah. And she's just like extremely happy to feel accepted about that. Like, after everything she went through with Trey, where he was just like that. Like, this is just a huge relief.
Yeah, it is. Like, Harry is obviously he's inverse Trey, like Trey is obviously, he's Kyle MacLachlan, he's very handsome, but he's a huge fucking dick. And everything has to be his way. And Harry knows what he wants, and he has he has the one thing on the table of like, I'd like you to be Jewish, but other than that, he's very understanding and he's very passionate. And well, the voiceover says, from Carrie's voiceover, she says like, if Judaism was humor, compassion, and accepting, then that's what Charlotte wanted. Like, she just loves Harry, and so she's gonna, like Elizabeth Taylor, she's gonna convert for love.
It is incredible. We do love to see it.
You do love to see it. It's very, but I think, I don't know, I think I mentioned before, I watched this show when I was a teenager. And honestly, ever since, I've brought up the fact that Elizabeth Taylor converted to Judaism for Eddie Fisher. Like, every time it's brought up. Anytime either Judaism or Elizabeth Taylor is brought up, in my head, I go, Elizabeth Taylor converted.
I mean, it's true, and it's something people should know.
It's something people should know. And I also think she stayed, like, practicing her entire life, so.
It wasn't, so it's something she actually stuck with. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So then we go to Samantha again, and she is, her and the guy are having sex again, and she's got him handcuffed.
He is handcuffed. She's in, like, this black lingerie, giving him a full rodeo ride, and there's a knock at the door, and it's the FBI.
Fucking FBI are here to arrest him for insider trading.
Yeah, and like, I guess they're like super or something lets them in, and Samantha's just like, oh, hi.
Yeah, it's really good.
But like, dick inside her is just like, hey, boys.
Yeah, no, fully. And so we learn that apparently he literally every single time he sleeps with a woman, like, tells them stock information. So like every single time, the Carrie's voiceover says every time a woman goes down on him, the Dow goes up. And yeah, and then this is my favorite part of this scene where the FBI asks Samantha if she can undo her handcuffs so that they can put theirs on.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I'm assuming she like didn't actually invest in that company because she doesn't get arrested.
No, because like if you're the one receiving information, is it still bad? I don't know how insider trading actually like really works.
Well, the whole point is like, I think, okay, this is going to be bimbo analysis 101. Vox explained for idiots.
Okay.
So insider trading is like, he would work for the company and then he would say stuff. So say I worked for, I don't know, Apple. And I was like, oh, Apple's going to go out of business. So like, get rid of your stocks now. That would be insider trading because I'm telling you what's going to happen. So it's basically like, because you could very easily make a lot of money if you told everyone what the company was about to do.
Yeah, for sure.
If you were like, oh, we're about to, Apple's about to launch a new product, so buy in, that would be insider trading.
But like, if you're the one who takes that information and does something with it, is that also illegal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's like sense. If someone's like, oh, I'm gonna rob a bank tomorrow, and you're like, okay, cool, I'll avoid it. Like, that's illegal. Like,
yeah, I think it's similar. Yeah,
it's like a non-snitching. It's technically illegal sometimes to not snitch.
Yeah,
but don't do it anyway. Like, fuck snitches.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I guess it's a lot easier to just not say anything if someone is like, here's a stock tip, and then you like do or do not invest in that thing.
Yeah. I imagine Samantha was just like, I pretend I do not see it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what she did. But she did very much write the information down when he told her, so like, I don't know. But she doesn't get in trouble, so it's fine.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. So, wait, I've lost my notes. So,
then we go to Miranda and Steve.
We do go to Miranda and Steve. This hard.
This was very hard to watch because Steve says like all of the things Miranda doesn't want to hear. Yeah.
She's so she says, I'm sorry, I just put something in the group chat which people aren't gonna like, but they need to see. Anyway, so she's like, oh, Miranda, you look nice. And she's like, I always look like this. It's just the dress, Steve. And she says, I wanted to talk to you about why I snapped at you last night. And he goes, yeah, I get it. Oh, do you want to say this?
Yeah, I guess I can say this because he's like, oh, it's okay, Miranda. I understand. You just think I've been hanging around too much with you and the baby and all, and you want me to leave and stuff. But it's fine. Like, I understand. I've been seeing someone else now, and it's going well, and I'm not in love with you anymore. So you can relax, Miranda. And
yeah,
Miranda's like, whoa, okay. It's extremely awkward. Like, bam, 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 right in succession. Like, oh yeah, no, I've been seeing someone else. I'm not in love with you anymore. And Miranda just like, okay, well then I'm just gonna erase myself from existence.
Yeah, she's like, I regret to inform everyone that I will be passing away. Yeah, it's a big L. I will say it's a big L.
It's the biggest L. Yeah. Then we go to Miranda and Carrie in the park, and Miranda is like, please forget everything I've said about Steve in the last, 48 hours. Nothing ever happened ever. I've never had a feeling in my life. I'm on fire now. And Carrie is like, okay, I think you're overreacting. I think you should have just told Steve anyway. I don't know. And Miranda's like, please stop.
Yeah, she's like, shut up. I will say I wish, I think I kind of do this to my friend, where I'm like, I will be fawning over someone. I'll be like, I think I'm in love. And then a week later, I'll be like, don't ever mention that name to me ever again. I don't ever want to think about it. It never happened. You've never seen me show any emotion. Fuck off.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. No, I think we've all been there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Burger. They just see Burger because they're sitting in the park. Do you remember when you could sit in parks?
Yeah.
And they see Burger, and Carrie decides to fucking leg it because she's like, this isn't my perfect outfit. And Miranda is like, you're just gonna leave me. She just leaves her friend. She full on just leaves
Yeah, she fucking bolts and does not come back. I will admit I do think Carrie's outfit is ugly, but I wouldn't have left the house with it in the first place. And Carrie's like, I'm fine to leave the house in this, but I just don't want Burger to see me in it. And I'm like,
okay. Do you know what Carrie dresses like sometimes?
What?
A Disney Channel star.
That is what this outfit is, because she's wearing like jeans with like a skirt over top of it and like a bandana or something.
Yeah. And she has like loads of pins in her hair, like so it like stays back instead of just tying like the fringe back.
Yeah, I didn't like this look for her, and I get why she was embarrassed, but at the same time I was also just like, you could have gone the other direction. She seems to be running like kind of in the direction that he's in, but slightly away from it instead of running in the opposite direction, which seems like a choice, but maybe she just doesn't understand moving. I don't know.
I don't think so either. If I had, I'm going to say if I had the time, I do have the time. If I could be bothered, what I would do is I would have Nicki Minaj's Roman Holiday underneath it, which is good. Like, because she fucking runs is so stupid. Why are you running? Why are you running?
Know. It would be really funny though if Burger did see her running and was just like, "What the fuck are you doing right now?" But
do you know what I think is more conspicuous? A woman wearing a dress and capri jeans galloping in heels than just someone just sitting down on a bench.
It is very funny to me.
Yeah.
So she bolts and she ends up not running into Burger, like she avoids him. But what she does run into is Aiden, who is just standing outside a store. And she sees him, he's facing away from her, but it's like clearly Aiden. And then he like slowly turns around and he has a baby on his chest, like in one of those baby holders. It's like pretty tiny baby, so like it's still pretty young.
Yeah, I mean, I will say big L. Running from the guy that you're about to go on a date with and then into the arms of your ex.
Yeah, she does run into him and he's clearly like pretty happy with a baby.
Yep.
What I will say is that I'm mortified he named his baby Tate, which is a name that I think is just a terrible name. Like, who are you, Tate Donovan? And that's it. It's a terrible name for a baby. Who names their baby Tate? Is that short for Tatham? Like, what is it?
Tatham? He says he likes to call him Tatum because he kind of looks like one.
Like, that part is cute. But, like, Tate is such a stupid name.
I don't feel like babies should be having one-syllable names.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, maybe Ben is acceptable. Ben's a nice name. But, like, imagine calling a baby, like, John.
Yeah. I just don't care for that name.
No, it needs to be, I need more of a name. And then, like, you shorten it as they get older, right?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah,
Tate.
I just feel like Tate is just, like, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't like it. I don't know what it is.
It's kind of boring. I don't know.
Like, it sounds like it's, like, supposed to be, like, a little bit weird, but not, like, actually weird. Like, I don't know. It's just something about it. Just, it seems like extremely, like, something Aiden would do, and I don't like it.
I wish he had, like, one of those, like, white Midwestern suburban mother names, like Hunter or Lakin. What was the other one?
God. Aegon.
Aegon, yes. Phoenix, but spelt wrong, you know.
Yeah. I've seen someone that I kind of know tangentially named their kid Persephone, but it's spelled, like, phonetically. Like, it's not spelled like the way it's supposed to be spelled. It's kind of like if you were to write out, like, Stephanie, but, like...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Bad.
Persephone is the name I give my fake child that I, like, make up whenever I'm pretending to be middle class. Like, it's an in-joke me and my mother have that, like, when I'm, like, 30, I'll have married some, like, rich man and I'll be really middle class and annoying.
Yeah.
And my child will be called Persephone. And I'm an actress / yoga teacher. And it's my daughter Persephone. Like, so Persephone, I like the name Persephone, but I just don't think it's realistic. My grandma's neighbor, I met them the other day actually, and I got very close to them, which I know is illegal. But they have a baby called Tony.
Oh my god, that's the best name in name I've ever heard in my life.
Baby Tony. Baby Tony is a legend. I love him. He's very cute.
I can't believe their baby was born like a mob boss at birth. From birth. Like,
From birth. It's not, his name isn't Anthony. His name is Tony.
that is king shit.
It is king shit. I met baby Tony and his parents the other day.
AMBAB. But I'm also AMBAB because AMBAB.
AMBAB! Oh, true.
Oh my god. Well, I think we found our episode title.
Yeah, same. Shout out to baby Tony. We love you.
Baby Tony's amazing.
It's so good. Unless it was named after Tony Stark, in which case, fuck off. But like, it probably wasn't.
I don't think he was. I don't know. I didn't speak to him for very long. There's a virus going on. I just like, oh, hey, baby Tony. I love him. I love him. He's so cute. Anyway, did you know this baby in the show is Sarah Jessica Parker's son?
No, I did not.
It is. It's like one of the big bits of trivia.
Oh, I love that. I love to hear that. That's kind of cute. So they didn't just like snatch up some like baby from baby auditions. They were like,
I thought you said Snapchat some baby, and I was like,
no. But yeah, basically Aiden is like, yeah, this is my baby. His name's Tate.
Yeah.
We should catch up and get coffee sometime. My baby's mom is inside of the store right now.
Yeah. He's like, I married another furniture designer. Can you believe that? And Carrie's like, cool.
She smiles and is like, yeah, that's great. Anyway, I gotta go. And like her voiceover is like, this is the kind of date that you both know you will never keep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, you guys are making plans that you're planning on keeping? But yeah, they definitely aren't ever gonna actually go out for coffee and catch up.
Yeah, definitely not. Nor should they.
No, they shouldn't. Like, they both seem just to be doing their own thing now. They really don't need to dig this up again. But then this kind of makes Carrie, I guess, change her mind about Berger seeing her and being like, I don't know, something about like, if Aiden and I could survive that situation, then there's nothing too bad I could do on my first date with Berger. So she just calls him up right then and is like, hey, let's go to that movie now. It's playing in 30 minutes and there's no lines. So I'm at this theater. And he's like, oh, what a coincidence. I'm actually in that neighborhood right now. And she's like, what?
Yeah. Oh, what? That's crazy.
Yeah. And then they meet up. So he comes over and Carrie gets them tickets and then he buys the popcorn and they're just being like gross and flirty and it's not really anything important that happens, but they're like hitting it off or whatever. And then Carrie says something about the NASDAQ being down, but how her stock is way up. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying, but okay.
Yeah.
And that's the episode. So rankings.
Yeah. I would say, well, I think I got to put my girl Charlotte at the top.
Yeah, same. She's my top as well.
Mm-hmm. Then maybe Miranda.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess because Samantha did do some fucking, which awesome. But she was kind of just annoying this episode. So I guess Carrie's above her. Like, she was an adult about the situation for most of this episode. She was being grown up.
Yeah, true. I considered putting Samantha second, but I'm probably going to put Miranda second. Like, I felt for her even though it was kind of like about Steve, but I still was like, okay, well, I'm happy that your plot is like moving somewhere now. And I don't know, it was interesting for once. I thought about putting Samantha second because I thought like the concept of insider trading as a plot line in the show is very funny to me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to rank her like lower for saying a slur. And
yeah, I think if you say a slur, you automatically are at the bottom.
Yeah. So like I'll probably put like Carrie, like her and Carrie are just like a toss up for me because like even if Carrie's not saying slurs, it's kind of just like she's Carrie. So it's like between the two of them, I don't know. Like really realistically, like I liked Samantha's plot a lot more than Carrie's, but like Carrie was probably a better person this episode. So like I guess I'll put Carrie third and Samantha last.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we can do questions, I guess. So we have a few questions this week. If you want to send us
Mhm.
questions, you can send them to citygirlsmakedo.tumblr.com/ask.
Yeah. We have questions. Let me get them up. Oh wait, yeah, we do have questions. They
Yeah.
didn't come up in my notifications for some reason, so I didn't think we had any.
Oh no, we've got a few, but they're short.
Yeah. It's the first one from Tanika Patrick.
Yeah, the first one is from friend of the show, guest of the show, Jess, aka Tanika Pack on Tumblr.
I think I should read this.
Okay.
Hi. My question is for Stephanie. Do you feel any regret for making Iron Trickle Rig be the first thing I think of after boning without a condom?
I have no regrets. Just love.
No regrets, just love, baby. I will say mine. This is friend of the show, guest of the show, Sarah's fault. Because I always think Twinkie.
Yeah. See, I will probably now, but I feel like I've heard that one, but it just went right out my other ear hole after hearing it. But I feel like this time it's gonna stick.
Yeah.
So thanks, Sarah. That's a real cursed one, but you're absolutely right. Ugh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I if I do get rawed, I'm like, haha, I've been Twinkied.
Yeah, pretty much. Thank you for the question, Jess. Again, no.
All right, so next question is from friend of the show, patron of the show, Siberian Pine on Tumblr, who asks, worst thing anyone has ever said to me in bed absolutely has to be, that was surprisingly good.
I mean, there's worse things that can be said to you, but that is like extremely backhanded.
Yeah, that is a lot, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, what's the worst thing someone has said to me in bed? I think the worst thing is when they, oh my God, I did mention when he's, the guy I slept with would say, I'm spent.
I'm spent?
When he came. I'm spent, like, I'm done.
Oh, yeah, I think you have mentioned that. Yeah,
I mentioned that.
Like every time?
I guess. Yeah, every time. It was so weird. I guess, like, mostly it's just, like, if they're doing, like, a dirty talk, but, like, it's not really vibing well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely agree with that one. Like, for example, like, oh, you're, like, a slut or something. And I'm like, I didn't ask for that. Like, what? What is this? No.
Yeah.
Like, that's not hot. Okay?
It's like, that's so, why would you, I feel like going to Kim Kardashian, like, why would you say that? Like, I think, or do you know what? I will take that over them not saying anything. Because at least if they're kind of talking, I kind of feel like they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? I don't know if I should say this. No, I'm never going to tell them the name of the podcast. Okay, so I was sexting a guy, as I have been, because lockdown and I am responsible.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
But girl has needs. And he sent me a video of him and he was like, oh, I wish this was me fucking you, Alex. And it shook me because I hadn't even heard his voice.
Oh, so that's the first time you heard it.
First time I heard his voice was him saying he wished he could fuck me. It was extremely, I started scream laughing and it was like midnight.
Incredible.
It was a lot. Like, I appreciate the thought. But it was also the first time I had ever heard his voice.
Yeah, that's a lot. Was it what you were expecting?
Yeah, but it just, you know, when you're in the throes, like someone's
Mhm.
voice sounds different when they're in the throes of passion as opposed to, you know, normally.
Yes.
I've heard his voice normally since and it's fine.
Okay.
But yeah.
Love
It was
it.
a lot. It was a lot. It was an adjustment. So that wasn't really in bed, but that was a weird moment. Like if you said that in bed, I'd be like, well, you are.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I guess that's kind of
Yeah.
like a unique situation.
Yeah, it's a special quarantine situation. But yeah, so that was kind of weird. But I feel like if they say literally nothing, and they're just like not even a moan, not even a heavy breathing, that's weirder because I've had that.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like unsettling.
Exactly, it's like being stared at. Like, next question.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so our last question is from friend of the show, frequent listener, frequent question asker, 2x2 Furious, who asks, What do you think of this hot take? Stocks are just gambling for rich people.
I don't think it's a hot take. I think that's just what it is.
That is what it is. I will also say gambling is gambling for rich people.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it's just like because like you can do both of those things if you're not rich. Like you can absolutely like do stonks if you're like middle class, poor. Like you can do them, but like they're definitely more of a rich person thing. But like yeah, same goes for gambling. Like there's different ways you can gamble your money. Like there's multiple types of gambling. Like if you go to a casino. And I feel like stocks are kind of just like a kind of gambling.
Yeah.
But because I mean, it's like literally, if it wasn't gambling, it would be insider trading, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly. Then it's illegal.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess it's not, yeah, I don't know. It's, they're both things where it's like you're risking your money to possibly get more money or possibly lose your money. And like, if there wasn't a risk, then it wouldn't exist and people wouldn't do it. Because, like, otherwise you would only be making money and everyone would do it. Or everyone would be losing money. Like, I don't know. Like, it just inherently is that. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's just gambling. Like, you can make wise decisions, I suppose, you know, like buying into companies that you think are going to be going up.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's kind of like poker. It's like if you are dealt pocket aces, you're probably going to stay in. If you're dealt, like, garbage, you might. I guess the difference is you can't bluff the stock market. But
I would say it's more like poker than it's more like I guess more like blackjack.
Yeah,
it's more like blackjack or like 21. I mean, there's the same game, but it's more like that as opposed to like roulette, which is just truly random.
Yeah.
You know, you can make a thoughtful decision. You can think about it. I will say though, this is just a rant because why the fuck not? We have time. I have been seeing like I follow like meme pages on Instagram, and I always see them say like, "Oh, you can get rich. Like, just follow." And like it has like influencers like reality TV stars and stuff say like, "Oh, if you follow my mate so and so, like he'll teach you the stock market and stuff." And I'm like, this is a scam.
Yeah.
It's a scam, honey.
It fully is. Also, like, if I wanted to learn the stock market, I would, like, ask my mom who, like, works for a broker, but I don't want to learn about the stock market, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, so, there are, like, more reliable places than just some bloke on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. But, all right. Yeah, Miranda being like, I don't invest anymore. It's too volatile. And I'm just like, people are investing. Like, I know people are investing, but like real people,
real people be doing that.
People are investing, I guess, but many are saying.
Many are investing.
Mm-hmm. But I guess, you know what you should invest in? Our Patreon.
Yes, give us money. We're not going to crash.
No, you're getting really what you pay for when you donate to our Patreon. You can give us $1 a month at patreon.com/citygirlsmakedo. And for $1 a month, you get a special Discord role. You get access to the Looker and Nanu channel in Discord, which is extremely good and full of special boys. You also get to listen to any other content we put out. So you can listen to the Mummy Mailbag episodes as well as the Keanu podcast that we're doing. And so we're recording our 3rd episode this week, probably.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're doing Much Ado About Nothing this time.
Yeah, we decided, like, since the world's kind of down, you know, we're all low energy, we wanted to talk about, 1, a movie where Keanu is, I would argue, at his hottest. And 2, we also got Hot Denzel.
Yeah. So, like, this is kind of, like, what everyone needs right now. This is a really good time to, like, actually, like, if you're gonna listen to the Keanu episodes, like, for sure, just, like, watch the movie, too, if you're already gonna be at home. So,
yeah.
I'm excited because I haven't seen this movie, but I have seen GIFs of it on Tumblr before, and you are absolutely 1,000% right about Keanu. So,
he is arguably at his sexiest. Like, he looks damn fine. And we got some fucking Kenny Branagh camp. And we got fucking Denzel. We also 90s Denzel.
Yeah, fucking, this is going to be some good shit. So I'm extremely excited. Yeah.
I would say, you know, get your lotion, get your room, watch Much Ado About Nothing, and then listen to us talk about it.
Yeah, Yeah, no, that's good. You're gonna need to bring a lot of lotion if you're gonna do all of that in one sitting. But I mean, go
Sorry
off.
to your dicks
Enjoy.
or
Yes.
badge, whatever. Sorry to whatever genitals you have, but they're about to take a pounding, baby.
Super funny. But yeah, so you can access that. That'll be coming out pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. At the $5 level, you can get everything from before. You get an even specialer Discord role. You can submit stuff in Steve voice for me to read. You can also get your name read on the Patreon. So I'll do that after I read the $10 one, because I always do it first, and then the first thing I see is $10 donor, and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I'll read that one first next time.
Yeah.
So we'll read your name on the podcast, and then at the $10 level, you get everything from before that, an even specialer Discord role, and you can also listen to us record live every week if you would like to do so. So thank you to our patrons. So everyone who's $5 and up, Alex Shoup, Jennifer Snyder, Matt Ribeiro, Jesse Alachi, Summer Geist, PR The Disaster, and Siberian Pine Hardwood. So thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. And yeah, that's...
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, obviously, I just want to say that, times are tough and we're extremely grateful for anything you guys can give us, and, look after yourselves. And yeah, thank you very much. We're glad that you're listening, and we hope to make the time that you'll be inside a little bit less painful, because recording the show is fun. So I imagine it's fun to listen to too. I like editing it.
I hope so. Me too. Hopefully that the only pain you're in is from laughing too hard at our jokes.
Yeah, if you wheeze,
Yeah.
hopefully it's because of us.
You might think you need to get tested for shortness of breath, but it's just because you've been laughing so hard at our funny jokes.
That was awful. That was,
It was
really
terrible.
bad.
I know.
It was
I'm
really bad.
hilarious.
Oh god. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's the show.
That's the show for today. Yeah, if you want to follow me on Tumblr, it's Windfall Island, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Age of Oddish.
And if you want to follow me on Tumblr, I'm at Dork Phoenix, and then at Twitter, I'm at Alex the Virgo, and then Alex the Virgo on Instagram, because I think that's where I've been most active recently. So
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
mhm.
Yep. Well, as we say every week, mohe every day, gamers.
Fuck cops.
Fuck cops. So long and
so
good
long,
night.
good night.
Watch Pushing
Kiss Keanu
Daisies.
Square on the lips.
And yeah,
Watch
kiss
Pushing
Keanu,
Daisies.
kiss Keanu Square on the lips.
Oh shit! Did you want to do the trivia thing?
I thought about it, but then I was like, we're already running at like an hour and a half, so I'll just save it for
Yeah.
next week. So, because I
Okay.
feel like we run shorter some weeks. So,
All right,
Yeah.
cool. I
Alright.
do like a quiz though, but it's fine.
I do.
We'll
I
do it
know,
next week. Stay tuned
Yeah.
for next week. The
stay
exciting,
tuned. Yes, we will be back.
exciting return of
Yeah.
the Sex and City trivia.
It's very interesting trivia. I read through like a bunch of them, and a bunch of them I was like, this fucking sucks. I'm throwing it out. But then I kept all the ones that I liked. So there's a whole bunch. So I'll have some for next week, probably.
Hell yeah! All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, gamers.
Stay safe. Wash your hands. Love you. Bye bye.